Alright, good morning BSc students, and for this video we'll be discussing our topic on free falling bodies. Okay, so first let us define what's a free fall or a free fall. In the absence of air resistance, it is found that all bodies at the same location above the earth fall vertically with the same acceleration. And if the distance of the fall is small compared to the radius of the Earth, then the acceleration remains essentially constant throughout the descent. Ibig sabihin, so if you have here your Earth and you have a free fall, yan, a small fall lang, harani lang, okay? Just a small fall, certain distance, with the absence of air resistance, the fall is constant all throughout the motion. So here, the motion here is what we call your free fall, the free fall. And the acceleration of a free falling body is called the acceleration due to gravity. And gravity is essentially 9.81 meters per second squared. This is the acceleration of gravity with respect to all objects moving at free fall with the absence of air resistance. So we cannot use 10 meters per second squared, but this particularly constant equation. Ibig sabihin, you fall a 75 kilogram of stone will fall at 9.81 meters per second squared with acceleration due to gravity. That is a free fall without any resistance. Okay. A feather will fall at 9.81 meters per second squared. Anything will have an acceleration going downwards towards the earth at 9.81 meters per second squared. Okay, so that is our constant acceleration due to gravity. So in free falling bodies, examples of a free falling body is here. For example, you have a building. Okay, take a look at this. Yan. So this is available also on your PowerPoint. So just make this clear. Ayan. So we use same kinematic equations for substituting g for acceleration and either a positive or a negative acceleration carefully to make problems as easy as possible. For example, this one, you have an object having an initial velocity of 0 meters per second falling to the direction of y, yan, into the ground, and the final velocity is to be calculated with a total time of 3.00 seconds. How do we compute that? So all you have to do, and we're going to the next slide. Ayan. So here, another example is the referee tosses the coin up with an initial speed of 5 meters per second. And with the absence of air resistance, assuming we have zero air resistance, how high does the coin go above and its point of release? Take note, height is to be calculated. We have the acceleration of negative 9.81, that is 9.81 meters per second squared. A initial velocity of 0 meters per a final velocity of 0 meters per second, and initial velocity of 5 meters per second without need for a time. So all you have to do with that given values, we compute using the equation of v squared is equals to v sub o squared plus 2ah, where v sub squared is a final velocity, v sub 0 is initial velocity plus 2 constant, a is for acceleration, and the height is in meters. So if you're going to revise the equation or simply derive the equation, we can proceed to the equation of h is equals to v squared minus v sub 0 squared over 2a. So that's a derived equation to get the height of your example. As seen we have here, height is aton gintutuloy. Okay, so all you have to do now is to substitute the given values into the equation, and you have here your equation fully substituted with the given values. Initial velocity of 0 meters per second. So the initial velocity of 0 meters per second squared minus 5 meters per second squared again. And then you have negative 0.981 meters per second squared multiplied by 2. Take note, 2 is constant for the equation of your free fall. So we are going to compute that is equivalent to 1.28 meters since height it aton gintutuloy. Okay, moving on. So how did we arrive at a negative sign for positive sign for our height and the negative sign for our gravity? Take note that on our previous example, we know that you'll have to deal with the direction of your body since we are dealing with a vector quantity. So going down is a negative and going up is a positive sign. Henceforth, we use negative 9.81 meters per second squared for acceleration due to gravity. Okay. So as we move forward, we cancel out similar units. Here, you need to know that we have to cancel similar units, and the unit for height is in meters. That is why we have here 1.28 meters for the height. Okay, so moving on. So acceleration versus velocity. So here, there are 3 parts of the motion of the coin. We will discuss how we have here arrived at that kinematic diagram. So on the way up, the coin has a vector velocity that is directed upward and has decreasing magnitude. At the top of this path, the coin momentarily has 0 velocity. Sa pinakataas, yung peak of the coin where you tossed it, the highest point of the coin is what we call the top path, which has 0 velocity momentarily. And then going downwards, the coin has a downward pointing velocity with an increasing magnitude. So in the absence of air resistance, acceleration of the coin, like the velocity, change from one part to another. That is how we arrived at this answer. That is why we have here minus 9.80 and a positive velocity. Okay? Yan. Initial velocity. So another example here. Here's another example. Thus the pellet in part B, ito, we have A, B, and C's. Okay, so thus the pellet in part B strike the ground beneath the cliff with a smaller, greater, or the same speed as the pellet in part A. Could be your assumption, given that part A has an upward direction before free falling, whereas part B is directly towards the ground. So in this case, the part B, okay, the part B will have a smaller impact to the ground or strike to the ground because of its direct downward travel, unlike here, which has increasing velocity as going upwards and going downwards, with a momentary 0 velocity at the peak and then a steady going downward velocity. This assumes with a 0 air resistance. So then we proceed with graphical analysis of velocity and acceleration. So here, which is the calculus of bridge addition. We have your displacement. Displacement becomes velocity with the slope of the line, which is your derivative, and becomes acceleration. So in the area under the curve, or the integral, acceleration moves to velocity and displacement. That is how we can use or interchange displacement, velocity, and acceleration with the use of derivative and integral calculus. So here, for example, we have the finding the velocity of your object in relation to a graphical representation. Take note that the delta t is the time in seconds for which the object traveled from point A to point B. So the delta x is positive 8 meters, and the position, that is the position, right? We're going to look at the y-axis and the x-axis. So the delta x has position of 8 meters around here. Then your delta time traveled is 2 seconds here. So the slope of delta x over delta y is equivalent to x over t. Simply delta x over delta t, which is positive 8 meters divided by 2 seconds. So to get the slope here, from point A to point B, the velocity to be used to travel from points here to here is positive 4 meters per second. Yan. All you have to do is use the equation for the slope, delta x over delta t. Another example here is the instantaneous velocity, where in your position, the tangent lines, here the red tangent lines, then you have the slope, it has a delta t or time of 5.0 seconds and the delta x of positive 26 meters. Having both delta x and delta t, all you have to do is divide delta x by delta t to get the slope, as we have done in the earlier example. So 10 to 6 divided by 5, that would be around 5.2 meters per second for the slope to travel from point A to point B, indicating, assuming we have instantaneous velocity. Okay. Another example here is to find acceleration. We have here your initial velocity of positive 5 meters per second with a delta t of 2 seconds, and the delta v, or the velocity, is 12 meters per second. Using the following equation, slope is equals to delta v over delta t. You can assume that your slope has an acceleration. The slope that travels from the acceleration that can be traveled in the slope for points A to point B is 12 meters per second divided by the time, that is 6 meters per second squared for the slope for finding a velocity. Okay, this is take note, this is for graphical representations of velocity and acceleration. Another example here for finding the displacement naman, we have here the equation. We know that the area is length times width plus 1/2 the base times the height. So deriving the equation, we can have the displacement is equals to the initial velocity times the time plus 1/2 of the time times the acceleration multiplied by the time itself. Deriving overall, we have d is equals to v sub 0 t plus 1/2 at squared. So this is for finding the displacement between points A and points B in a graphical representation for velocity. Yan. Parang gindiscuss ko rin na iyuhan natin first lesson. Okay, that would be all for our discussion. Please answer questions 22, 23, 24, and 25, and that will serve as your assessment and attendance for this week. And that would be all for our kinematics in one dimension. Thank you for listening, and I will see you next meeting. Bye-bye.